My fiancé was way too excited about the friendly woman next door. Turned out she was his ex. I caught them sharing inside jokes over the balcony like teenagers. The next morning, I signed the lease transfer papers he didn't know about. When he saw who was moving into his side of the duplex, he dropped his coffee on the floor. I'm Rachel, 33, and I was supposed to get married in 3 months. Was supposed to. My fiancé, Michael, and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. We just moved into this duplex 6 weeks ago. One of those side-by-side setups where each unit is a mirror image of the other. It was perfect. 2 bedrooms, small yard, quiet neighborhood. We were splitting the rent, saving for the wedding, talking about kids. Everything felt solid. Then Claire moved in next door. I should have known something was off by the way Michael reacted when he saw the moving truck. It was a Saturday morning, early September. I was making coffee when he looked out the kitchen window and literally gasped. Oh my God, what? Someone's moving in next door. Finally, the unit had been empty since we moved in. The landlord told us they were looking for the right tenant. Cool, I said, not really paying attention. I should go say hi. Be neighborly. Sure. He was out the door before I finished pouring my cup. I watched through the window as he walked over to this woman unloading boxes from a U-Haul. Tall, athletic build, wearing a tank top even though it was barely 60 degrees out. They talked for maybe 5 minutes. He laughed a lot. That light, breathy laugh he does when he's trying to impress someone. When he came back inside, his cheeks were flushed. Her name's Claire. She seems really nice. She's a personal trainer. She just moved here from Portland. Great. Doesn't know anyone in the area. Okay. I told her we'd help if she needed anything. I nodded, went back to my coffee, didn't think much of it. Michael was friendly. That was normal. Except it wasn't normal. Not the way it played out. Over the next week, Claire became a constant presence. Not in an obvious way, more subtle. She'd be outside watering plants right when Michael got home from work. She'd take out her trash at the same time he did. They'd end up talking on the driveway for 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'd watch from inside, telling myself I was being paranoid. Then came the balcony thing. Our duplex had small balconies off the master bedrooms. They faced each other, maybe 15 feet apart. One Thursday evening, I was in the living room watching a game when I heard Michael laughing. That same breathy laugh. I walked to the bedroom and found him on the balcony, leaning on the railing, talking to Claire, who was on her balcony doing the same thing. And then she just fell right into the pool. He was cracking up. Classic. Remember when you tried to do a backflip off the diving board and belly flopped? Oh my God, don't remind me. I had bruises for weeks. They were talking like old friends. Inside jokes. Shared memories. I stepped outside. Hey. Michael jumped slightly. Oh, hey, babe. Claire glanced over. Hey. So, how do you two know each other? Silence. Michael's smile froze. Claire cleared her throat. We went to high school together. College, actually, Michael corrected. We were in the same program. Right, college. I looked at Michael. You never mentioned knowing her. I didn't know it was her until we started talking. She goes by her middle name now. In college, everyone called her Caroline. Huh. Small world, right? Claire said, grinning. Yeah, I said, real small. I went back inside. Michael followed a minute later. You okay? Fine. You seem weird. I'm not weird. I just think it's interesting you forgot to mention you knew the new neighbor. I didn't forget. I just didn't think it was a big deal. Seems like you two know each other pretty well. We were friends in college, Rachel. That's it. Friends? Yes, friends. I let it drop, but I didn't forget. Update 1. That night I couldn't sleep. Something about the way they'd been talking bothered me. The familiarity. The inside jokes. I grabbed Michael's laptop while he was in the shower. Told myself I was being crazy. I checked his Facebook messages. He had a message thread with Claire, started 3 weeks ago. Claire. Holy, is this Michael Chen? Michael. Claire? Oh my God. What are you doing here? Claire. Just moved to the area. Saw you on Suggested Friends. Michael. I can't believe you're here too. Claire. This is insane. We should catch up. Michael. Definitely. Coffee sometime? Claire. For sure. I scrolled down. More messages. Plans to meet up. Then one that made my stomach drop. Claire. Still can't believe you're engaged. Lucky woman. Michael. Haha. Yeah, it's been good. Claire. Better than us, I hope. Michael. Oh, stop. They dated, and he never told me. I kept scrolling. Michael. Rachel's working late tomorrow if you want to grab that coffee. Claire. Sounds good. 3 p.m. at Riverside. Michael. Perfect. That was 4 days ago, the day he told me he was meeting his coworker Jenny for coffee. I closed the laptop and sat there in the dark bedroom, listening to the shower run, trying to process. My fiancé had been meeting up with his ex, an ex he never mentioned, an ex who just happened to move in next door, and he'd lied about it. When Michael came out of the bathroom, I was already in bed pretending to be asleep. The next morning, I called our landlord. A guy named Tom, mid-50s, owned a few properties in the area. Tom, it's Rachel from Unit A of the Maple Street Duplex. Hey, Rachel, what's up? Quick question. The lease we signed, it's under both our names, right? Yeah, you and Michael, joint lease. And if one of us wanted off the lease, what would that look like? Pause. You guys having problems? Just curious about options. Well, if one person wants out, the other can either take over the full lease or we do a transfer. Why? Just thinking ahead. What about the unit next door, Claire's place? What about it? She's month to month, right? Yeah, for now. Planning to offer her a year lease next month if it works out. Interesting. I hung up and made another call. This one to my friend Marcus, who owns a property management company. Marcus, I need a favor. Update 2. The balcony conversations continued every evening around 7 p.m. like clockwork. I started documenting it, not in a creepy way, just keeping track. Monday, 23 minutes. Tuesday, 18 minutes. Wednesday, 31 minutes. Thursday, I stopped counting because I was too angry. Friday night, I confronted him calmly. Michael, we need to talk. He was making dinner. About what? About Claire. His knife stopped mid-chop. What about her? You dated her? Who told you that? Does it matter? Why didn't you tell me? He set the knife down. It was a long time ago, Rachel. College. It didn't seem relevant. You're talking to her every day. She's our neighbor. I'm being friendly. You lied about meeting her for coffee. His face went red. Were you going through my messages? Were you lying to me? That's not the point. That's exactly the point. You met up with your ex, lied about it, and now you're flirting with her on the balcony every night like I'm not even here. I'm not flirting. Then what do you call it? Being nice, having a conversation. God, Rachel, you're being so paranoid. Am I? Because from where I'm standing, my fiancé is spending more time talking to his ex than his actual fiancé. That's not true. When's the last time we had a 30-minute conversation about anything? He didn't answer. That's what I thought. I grabbed my keys and left. I drove to Marcus's office. Even though it was almost 8 p.m., he was still there. Rachel, you look like hell. I need that favor. What's going on? I told him everything. The messages, the lies, the balcony conversations. He listened without interrupting. So what do you need from me? Can you buy out Claire's lease? What? He blinked. Tom said she's month to month. Can you offer to take over the property? Make her an offer she can't refuse to move out. Rachel, that's... I know it's crazy, but I'm done being the idiot in my own relationship. Marcus leaned back in his chair. Even if I could, what does that solve? It removes the problem. The problem isn't Claire, he said carefully. The problem is your fiancé. I know, so what's your actual plan here? I told him. Update 3. It took Marcus 3 days to set it up. Turns out Tom was looking to sell the duplex anyway. Market was good. He was ready to cash out. Marcus made him an offer. They closed in 72 hours. Cash deal. Monday morning, Marcus called me. It's done. I own the duplex. Both units? Both units. Perfect. Now the second part. You sure about this? Completely. That afternoon, I came home early. Michael was at work. I had the entire place to myself. I started with his closet, packed 3 suitcases with his clothes. Not everything, just enough. Moved them into the spare bedroom. Then I called Tom. Tom, it's Rachel. I heard the property sold. Yeah, closed this morning, actually. So about our lease. New owner going to honor all existing leases? Yeah, you're good. Actually, Michael and I need separate spaces for a bit. Is there any way we could split the lease? Him in Unit B, me in Unit A? That's unusual. I know, but we'd both pay rent. Wouldn't cost anyone anything. It's not my property anymore, Rachel. You'd have to talk to the new owner. Who is? Guy named Marcus Webb. Here's his number. I pretended to write it down. Thanks, Tom. Then I called Marcus. Can you do the transfer? Jesus, Rachel, you're really doing this. Can you or not? Yeah, I'll draw up new leases. But what about Claire? Give her 30 days notice. Tell her you're renovating Unit B and need it vacant. And then? And then Michael gets a new neighbor. Marcus sighed. This is insane. You'll do it anyway. I probably will. Update 4. The paperwork took a week. During that week, I played it cool. Didn't mention Claire. Didn't mention the lease. Just watched. And what I saw confirmed everything. Tuesday night, they were on the balconies again. I recorded it on my phone this time. Remember that trip we took to Tahoe? Michael said. The cabin with the broken heater, Claire replied. Yes, we thought we were going to freeze. We found ways to stay warm, though. He giggled, actually giggled. Wednesday, he came home late, said he had a work thing. I checked our Ring camera footage. He'd been home at 5:30, changed clothes, left again at 6, came back at 9:30. Thursday, I found a receipt in his jacket pocket. Riverside Cafe, 2 coffees, 2 sandwiches, that afternoon. Friday, the new leases were ready. Marcus texted me. Signed on my end. You sure about this? I signed mine. Put Michael's in an envelope with a note. Since you prefer spending time with Claire, I figured you'd want to be closer. You're moving to Unit B. She's moving out. Your lease starts Monday. Saturday morning, I left the envelope on the kitchen counter and went to the gym. Stayed gone for 3 hours. When I came back, Michael was sitting on the couch, envelope in hand, face white. What is this? Your new lease. This isn't funny. It's not a joke. You can't just... I can, and I did. I bought the building. Well, Marcus did, but the leases are real. This is insane. You want to spend time with Claire? Great, but you're not doing it while living with me. No, what's insane is planning a wedding with someone who's emotionally cheating with his ex. I'm not cheating. Then what do you call lying about coffee dates? What do you call flirting on the balcony every night? What do you call telling her you found ways to stay warm together? He froze. You recorded us? You lied to me repeatedly. Rachel, please, let's talk about this. We're done talking. You've got until Monday to move your stuff to Unit B. Your suitcases are already in the spare room. You packed my clothes? Just saving time. He started crying. Real tears this time. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It didn't mean anything. Then why'd you do it? I don't know. It was just nice feeling wanted again. You've been so distant lately. I've been distant? I'm not the one having secret coffee dates with an ex. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Michael? Explain it to me. He couldn't. Just sat there crying, holding the lease papers. I grabbed my keys. You've got the weekend to figure it out. Monday, the lease starts. You're in B, I'm in A, and Claire's got 30 days to vacate. Where's she going to go? I don't know. I don't care. I left him there and went to Marcus's place. Final update. It's been 5 weeks. Michael moved into Unit B, cried the whole time, kept apologizing, kept saying it was a mistake, kept begging for another chance. I stayed firm. Claire got her 30-day notice the same Monday Michael moved. She came knocking on my door that night. Rachel, I just want to say, I don't care. I didn't mean for any of this. You're leaving. That's all that matters. Michael and I were just friends. You dated. You flirted. You had inside jokes. That's not friendship when one of you is engaged. She tried to say something else. I closed the door in her face. Claire moved out 3 weeks ago. Michael's still in Unit B. We don't talk. He tried a few times. Knocked on my door, sent texts, left notes. I ignored all of it. Last week he texted me. I'm moving out next month. I can't afford this place alone. Me. Okay. Michael. That's it? Just okay? Me. What do you want me to say? Michael. That you still care. That this meant something. Me. It did mean something. It meant I learned who you really are when you think no one's watching. He didn't respond after that. The wedding's canceled. We lost the deposits. I don't care. My mom was upset at first. Then I told her everything. Now she's on my side. Marcus asked me yesterday if I regret it. Buying the building, forcing the move, all of it. Honest answer? No. Yeah, it was extreme. Yeah, it probably makes me look controlling or crazy. But I'm not the one who lied. I'm not the one who prioritized an ex over my partner. I just refused to sit around and watch it happen. Michael made his choices. I made mine. He wanted to be closer to Claire. He got his wish, even if it only lasted 3 weeks. Now he's leaving. I'm staying. And I've got a duplex that's worth more than I paid for it. Some people say I should have just broken up with him like a normal person. Maybe. But normal didn't feel like enough. He humiliated me in my own home with a woman living 15 feet away. He deserved to feel what that's like. To have his world flipped upside down the same way he flipped mine. The lease papers. The move. Watching him pack his things into Unit B while I stayed in A. That was my closure. That was me taking control back. I don't know what happens next. Maybe I sell the place. Maybe I stay. Maybe I find someone who doesn't need an ex next door to feel wanted. What I do know is I'm done being the woman who ignores red flags because it's easier. That version of me died the night I heard him giggling about staying warm in Tahoe. If Michael wants to chase nostalgia with people like Claire, that's his choice. I'll be over here in Unit A, living a life where I'm not a backup.